Master Johnson Field here on Cobourg Tae Kwon Do, as well as MasterJohnsonField.com. In today's video, I want to discuss how to learn your pattern, your pumse, your kata, whatever terminology you use in your martial arts for your basic form or pattern. I want to teach you guys how to learn it, especially online in the current global pandemic that we're in, or just learning online in general, or if you're learning your pumse or kata in class and you want to go home and learn more of it online, whether it be on on YouTube, whether it be on a website. I know our website, CobourgTaeKwondo.ca, has all of our patterns or forms or pumse on there for our students, so they can practice their pumse in the class, and then they go home and practice. But let's say right now you are stuck at home where you just don't have access to an instructor, or maybe you're learning a new pattern outside of your normal martial arts. I learned Japanese patterns and Chinese patterns as well. I don't necessarily have instructors in front of me all the time. So I have online resources I use. So let's say you want to learn a pattern. You can actually learn your pattern or form, kata, pumse, in a relatively short time. I'm saying like a month or less, you can learn pretty much any form. Let me give you a basic example. So let's say World Taekwondo, for example, the style that our primary style here is at Cobourg Tae Kwon Do. Let's say you're learning your very first pattern, Taekwondo number 1. It has several moves in it, where when we count it out as a group, we have a 16 count. So once we do a 16 count, the pattern's done. So relatively short pattern. So what I would do is you learn the first little chunk of it, maybe I would almost go like the first 5 count on Taekwondo number 1, and then you practice that for a day, and then you add 1 or 2 count the next day, so then you would practice what you practiced the day before, plus up to what you just learned that day. And then you just kind of progress day to day. So after a month, or it depends on the pattern, very short amount of time, you can nail it. So, for example, if I was brand new to martial arts and I had Taekwondo number 1 as an online resource, I would pick the first 5 count to learn it. So, for example, the first 5 count would be your low block, step punch, low block, step punch, turning to the front, low block, punch. That would be a 5 count in our style. So again, this would be Kata, Do, Set, Net, Don't Sit. So now let's practice that for maybe 5 minutes. Doesn't take much, 5 minutes. Wouldn't take much to get that 7 repetitions. And then on day 2, I would just pick maybe another 2 count. So, for example, if I were to go on day 2, I'm going to practice what I already know, plus adding a 2 count. So, it would be Kata, Do, Set, Net, Go, Sit. Now I add 2 more counts. You know, sit, and you go. So then, I would practice up to that point on day number 2. Again, for about 5 minutes. 10 minutes if you really need it. Day 3, I would add another 2 counts just because it's relatively easy. So that would take me up to 9 or 16. So for example, Kata, Do, Set, Net, Go, Sit, you go, or hold. Now it takes me up to 9. So now it's practicing day number 3, 1 through 9 for, again, 5-10 minutes tops. 5 minutes is really all you need to work on that. And then day number 4, maybe I would actually add just the 1 count, so that would be 10. And then I would add the next one the day after, etc. So you can learn Taekwondo number 1 in like a week and a half by going through that progression. And then you just spend the rest of the month spending like 5 minutes a day. I know I practice my higher pumse or kata. I'll practice those like 2 reps. So right now I'm currently doing 2 reps of my higher cream pattern, 2 reps of my Japanese pattern I'm working on, and 2 reps of my Chinese pattern. I do that 5 to 6 days a week. So it takes me about 5 minutes That way I get repetitions in, and those 2 repetitions are super focused on making that kata or that funse good. Now let's say though, you don't know the count. So like Korean, we do a lot of counting. Hanadu set net, and there's certain moves for each count. Let's say you're learning a pattern that's a lot longer. Let's say it has like 40 or 50 moves in it, or more, a little bit higher. Like the Japanese pattern, Chinese pattern to work on right now, how well to move. So, same progression. You can learn this in 30 days or less. So, what you would do, let's say, what you would do is you'd watch the funse, or the pattern, or the kata, figure out how many moves are in that funse or kata. Let's say there is 60 moves, just make this really simplistic here. 60 moves. Alright, so what I would do, I would learn the first 2 moves on day number 1. Let's say the current Japanese pattern system I'm working on, the first 2 moves might be I would consider that maybe 2 moves, just for example. So again, bring the arms across, chambering it, go into my Jun-B in Korean or ready position, kicking the right leg, kicking the left leg. That was day number 1. I would practice maybe not even 5 minutes on that, just get that in my head. And then I would go to day 2, so I would add the next 2 moves. So I did 60 moves over 30 days, you're adding 2 moves per day. So then day 2, for example, if I was going to add 2 more moves in a particular form, so this is, I would consider that 1, I would consider this 2, consider this 3, and then consider this 4. That would be day number 2. I would spend no more than 5 minutes working that whole sequence. Now, as you get higher, you would obviously your practice time might be a little bit longer, but at the starting stages, you don't have to overkill it. Then let's say I go into day number 3, therefore I'd be doing moves 1 through 6 on a 60 move kata, or funse. So I'd be like 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, this is 5, this is 6. So then I would practice doing that for, like I said, 5 minutes, because there's not much there. And then, like I mentioned one more day, let's say now we're on day 4, I would practice moves 1 through 8 up to 60. Again, I actually don't know how many moves are particularly in this pattern. I'm just using this example. Let's go 1 through 8, even though I've never broken this down before. So 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 8. So I practice that for 5 minutes. And you can take that with any pattern. So let's say I'm going to work on my Chinese pattern. This is a Shaolin Tiger Force. Let's say I'm going to learn that in 30 days or less. So again, let's say, this for simplicity, let's assume that it's 60 moves long. And first day I'm going to do the first 2 moves. That's 1, and that's 2. So I would consider that day number 1, 5 minutes. Day number 2, day number 2, then if I were to add day number 3, move 1 through 6. And keep adding from there. Again, it's like 5-10 minutes a day. And you just keep progressing. So some patterns or funse or kata, you might learn it in half, about 15 days. Then you have the other 15 days where I was practicing just the whole pattern for like 5 minutes or 2 or 3 reps. You'll have to kill it. You'd be surprised, you can get, if you were to practice your days, like I said, if you learned it in the first half of the month, 15 days, your second half of the month, if you're doing like 3 times per day, which is not a lot, that's 45 reps of that pattern, which is quite a bit. That's really good to start to get your reps in there, as long as you know it. And the beauty of this method is you are learning, or like you're getting so many repetitions of the earlier half especially, and you're just building on repetitions, building on. That way, instead of trying to learn the whole thing at once, I know for myself that pretty close to how I do now. I have a lot more time being a professional martial arts instructor and school owner here. I spend a lot more time practicing, so I can spend an hour learning a pattern on a particular day if I want to, which sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I'll do what I'm just saying, I'll just a couple moves, and I'll add a couple more moves the next day, and just keep progressing that way. Depends on how busy I am. Now, if I do have more free time, I can dedicate maybe half an hour of learning 10, 15 moves, and then I'll practice that for a day or two. Then I'll add a couple more moves, or 3 or 4. That all depends on that particular Fumse or Kata. But every pattern, Kata, Fumse is different. Some are more rigid, or a little more straightforward. Some have brand new movements that you've completely never done before, and you have to really study them and really work on the form. Like a traditional low block step punt, that's pretty basic, versus some of the forms where I'm in the horse stance, and I'm cutting here, doing stuff like that. That's a little more advanced, takes a little more time to practice those moves. But yeah, so anybody, especially in today's world where if you're not in class all the time right now, or you want to add to your current knowledge base, or you're learning online, for whatever reason, that's basically how you would break down and learn a Fumse or a Kata or form or pattern in the martial arts based on the using online resources. So I hope you enjoyed that. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Again, you can check out our academy at Cobourg Taekwondo.ca. You can also check out resources over at masterjohnsonfield.com. Also, if you've been around a while, you know that we changed the ocean here, so we have nice gray and yellow walls now, and we're just waiting, hopefully the next week or two, depending on when you're watching this video, that we're also getting a brand new floor, like twice the thickness mat. We're going to be having black floor with big yellow rings, yellow solid rings, so that's going to be really awesome. Kind of matches the colors on the wall here. So again, hit that subscribe button, leave a comment, and go ahead and use this method to learn new patterns.